good morning, my friends. Hello, 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 hello. It is Wednesday, y'all. And here's the thing, social proof is important. It's exactly what we do as consumers to tell us whether or not we want to try out a new business. So think about when you're looking for something for yourself, a new restaurant, looking for swim lessons for your kiddos. What's the first thing you do? You probably go to the Google, you probably go to Google and you type in the business and you see if there are reviews, right? You might go to social media and look up the business page, or you might ask in a Facebook group, maybe a mommy's group. You might ask. You are looking for others' social proof. We are looking from other real people to tell you what they think about this business. And so, surprise, surprise, y'all, that's exactly what people do when they're looking up a place for their kiddos to dance, or they're looking for your studio. They are looking at sites and checking out the reviews from students and parents. And so it's so important that we lean into making this a priority. And so it's time to get those testimonials now, because that way you can wow your clients and move them to reach out for a trial lesson, or to come in and to, start doing all the things with you. And so today in this broadcast, I want to walk you through the why, the where, and the how of asking for testimonials on search platforms, social media, so you can easily build social proof. And so, y'all, if you're new here, I'm Erin Bird, and I work with studio owners and educators just like you to grow their businesses, to create their own unique vision of success without the burnout, without the overwhelm, without sacrificing their personal lives. Because the truth of the matter is that, y'all, you can have it all. You can create magic inside your business and your personal life and absolutely feel so full of joy every day when you walk outside of your studio. And so I have to tell you that we love to learn out loud here. So if you're joining me, say, hey, Erin, what's up? Let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're coming from. And even if you come back in on the replay, I want to know that as well, because it gives me little notifications and I can come back in and we can continue this conversation. So if you're joining me, say what's up. I want to know who's here. Let's have a conversation. Let's make this work for you. So during our time together, we love to learn out loud. So, which means if you have that moment of that aha, right? That light bulb moment that happens for you, I want you to put it in the comments. I want you to put a hashtag takeaway, because what it does is not only does it solidify the idea that came to you, or that moment of, oh, yeah, I really should be doing that. What it also does is it helps those people who do come back in on the replay scan real quickly, see what your takeaways were, and be able to get those good nuggets as well. And before we really dive into the nitty-gritty, if you know another studio owner or educator who could really use to hear today's chat, I would absolutely love for you to feel free to sprinkle the love around and share, comment, put in the comments. You can tag them if you feel like they need to hear this, because y'all, we're better together. And so now today I'm going to tell you, I'm actually going to be coming in and giving you, I have a little awesome gift for you today. Okay, I have an awesome gift for you. And if you want to get your hands on that special little gift, I need you to drop reviews in the comments, right? Because this is all about reviews. So I'm going to get to you and I'm going to tell you what our special gift for you is today. But if you know that, oh my gosh, I want the juicy goodness, drop in the comments below a review, and then that way we can go ahead and make sure to get you a copy of that special gift. So, are we ready, my friends? Let's get this party started. So, how to get awesome reviews for your studio. So let's just dive in right now together, because I know what you're thinking. I know that you're like, Erin, I feel awkward asking. Or I've asked in the past and nobody did them, right? And so that's what we're going to conquer today. But it all starts with this first thing. Know where your audience hangs out. And now, depending on your type of studio and who you serve, is going to kind of dictate where your audience hangs out, right? If you are a studio who serves children or, young adults primarily, most of the time, right, we're going to find that those parents, those buyers, the audience, they're probably going to be hanging out on Facebook, Instagram, right? Of course, we all, I feel like, go and hang out on Google. We all go to Google. But some of those buyers might go to things like Yelp, or they might be, in different areas. So we have to know where your audience hangs out. If you are selling to, let's say, adults, right? Maybe you have an adult studio, maybe you have a ballroom studio, that sort of thing that primarily serves adults. Where they hang out might be a little bit different than obviously where a teenager might hang out, right? Um, and if you have, I had one client who told me, Erin, I have a lot of teenage students who are booking or who are actually coming in and like setting up their own trials and doing that sort of thing. And so I'm like, well, then where are they hanging out? And she's like, well, it feels like they're hanging out on TikTok. Well, if that's where they're at, then that's where we need to, we need to look at, where does our audience hang out at? So let me know in the comments below, where do you think your audience are hanging out? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Are they going and checking Google? Is it Yelp? Right? There's all sorts of different platforms that they can be on to try to start to look at where these reviews are, because we want to know where they're hanging out so we know where to focus our time, right? And our energy first and foremost. So let's dive in. I think that most of us, or most of my people here who are with me, y'all are serving children, right? Your student base is primarily younger students, right? So this is where the social media reviews come in hand. Now, I want to dive into this real quick. Breathe. Take a breath. Hold on. First things first. I'm like getting comfortable here. Take a deep breath with me. And I want you to take a moment and think about asking for reviews, right? We might feel a little bit shy about that. We might feel like we're asking for too much, or we might appear to come across a certain way. And the truth of the matter is that your students love you. The parents love you. The reason they've stayed with you for so long is because you're amazing. So let's not be afraid to ask for their help, because you want more amazing families. You want to make a bigger impact in your community and in the lives of the students or the children or the families in your community. So why wouldn't we take a moment to ask for their help? Because I've never had someone say, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I don't want to leave a review for you. They love you. Now we're going to dive into a little bit of strategy today because, of course, we want to make sure that it is those families. Our asks start with those families that are like, our hearts are like, you are the perfect client. You are the perfect family. You are the perfect parent. You are the perfect students. I absolutely adore you, and I want more of you. I want more people just like you, right? So we're going to dive into that just a little bit today. Let me know in the comments, though, where do you think that your peeps are hanging out, okay? Because this will help us, and it'll help me help you. Okay, so social media reviews. So first things first, a lot of us here are on the Book of Faces. And so we need reviews on our business pages. Now, I've heard a little bit of pushback, and I'm not arguing with y'all, where you say, well, people don't even go to business pages anymore on Facebook. And here's the deal. While business pages don't get as much play, I'm going to say for the most part, as other things, as private, private Facebook groups or personal pages or things like that, nature. The truth of the matter is that your business page is so important because people are going to go to your business page, y'all. And I am a huge fan of building your audiences organically and naturally and having people see what you're all about. Now, yes, our business page is a place to make offers, but people have to know, like, and trust you. And one of the biggest things for people to know, like, and trust you before they've ever stepped a foot inside of your door is social proof through reviews, through real stories, real people, real stories sell, right? So if you have parents who are talking about the transformation in their child, they're talking about the joy inside your studio, they're talking about the feelings that they get, they're talking about the community, they're talking about all of the awesomeness that your studio is. That instantly builds your know, like, and trust factor with potential clients. And so these reviews are so important to help people start to connect quicker and to bridge the gap of that know, like, and trust and accelerate that process exponentially. Okay, so social media reviews. So let's dive into that real quick. So Facebook reviews, yes, y'all. Whether or not Facebook is your favorite playground, we need to know, is it your audience's favorite playground, right? And so we want to get Facebook reviews. We want to get those on there. They're super simple. I'm not going to dive into necessarily like the tech side of things. If you need more help with that, we can definitely go into a training on that of like how to find your reviews, how to do that. But my hope is that most of you have looked at that. And if not, I'm here to help you. But today I want to talk about social media. So we want Facebook reviews, right? This is where a lot of people are, they might focus on that or they might focus on Google. We're going to get to the next one. But I want to take a moment to talk about Instagram, right? Because you guys, let me know. I don't know if the comments are slow or y'all are just, a little shy today. But I would love for this to be a conversation. So, talk to me, y'all. I'm lonely. Okay, no, but seriously. So, Facebook reviews on your business page, super important. Now, Instagram. You might be saying, Erin, a lot of my audience, they are living on Instagram, right? But there's not an actual review function on Instagram. Hey, thank you. My word, I was wondering for a moment if I was just going to be talking to myself all morning long. I am so glad that you're here. Okay, so Instagram, y'all. Now, there's not a review tab for Instagram. So, can I give you guys a little way to kind of work around this? Would you want that? Let me know. Let me know if you want me to share with you how we share the social proof on Instagram. I'll go on to the next thing and we'll come back to it if you guys let me know. Okay, let's talk about Google reviews real quick. Now, if you haven't set up a My Business account, okay, yes, thank you. We will come back to it, I promise. Okay, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so if we need to be on Google, if you have not set up your Google business account, right, y'all need to do that. Let me know. Okay, thank you for some love now. I feel like this is starting to be a conversation, and that makes my heart happy. Okay, so Google reviews. Now, I touched on real quick how I felt it's so important for us to have our organic reach. And here's a big reason why with Google. With Google, someone Googles dance lessons in insert your city, right? And with Google, there's going to be all the lists of all the studios. Now, at the top, you might see those sponsored posts, right? Which we all know are Google ads. And a lot of people, when Googling something, will automatically skip those ads. Now, I'm not dissing Google ads, y'all. I am not. I think they are valuable. But what I also know is that why wouldn't we increase our rankings through free social proof? Because the more Google reviews that you have, the higher Google ranks you organically because of the algorithm. They're seeing that there's people who are providing information, they're clicking on, they're engaging with a Google search, right? And so they naturally will start bumping you up in the rankings when you have more reviews, right? So I have a client who has not done a single Google ad, but because we focused on reviews and we've encouraged her families and her parents to do those, she comes up at the very top and has never done a single Google ad. So it's so important for us to go ahead and work on getting our families to do those Google reviews, because y'all, I don't care if they're 13 years old or they're 60 years old, 70 years old. People go to Google. They do. It is like the top search engine. So I always say for most of my clients is that we want to look at, like, those are the two places, social media and Google, that we really want to kind of focus on getting and starting to work on adding those layers in there and getting those reviews up on those pages. Okay. All right. So social media, right? Right now I focus kind of on the Facebook. We're going to get to the Instagram because it actually kind of comes into this next little nugget, which is repurposing magic. And here's where it comes in to that Instagram hack. So because there's no review function, we have to repurpose those wonderful things that your families have to say about you. So how do we do this? So, when you get that text message or you get that quick email or that Facebook, or that message or that DM that you get on Instagram, where a parent or a student, has taken that time to send you all the love because they want to tell you how much they appreciate you, right? Or they've given you a little review, or even they've taken the time to do a Facebook review, or they've done a Google review. You can take that content and repurpose it. And the repurposing magic comes here. So y'all know, I think that Canva is pretty easy. And most of my clients have used Canva. Let me know if you're a Canva user. Let me know. I want to know if you're a Canva user. Okay. And again, this isn't about doing a Canva training right now, but you can take those little nuggets that people send you and create testimonial cards, right? So you create a graphic, you can create yourself a couple templates in Canva where when someone sends you that little love, right? You plug it into what we call a testimonial card, a testimonial graphic, and then you use those for Instagram along with a little, text, and you share the love that way, right? And then it lives on Instagram for you in Canva every day. Yes, right? So use Canva there's other ways you can do it too, but I know Canva is super simple and most of the things you can do in there are free. So that being said, you can turn those into testimonial cards and you can post them on IG, um, for your social proof. So that's kind of a little bit of a workaround since there isn't a technical review section on Instagram, but you can use those, right, to layer that in. Now, where else can we take and put these? Because I'm all about simple is sustainable. Like, let's not try to reinvent the wheel over and over and over again, right? When we create content, whether it's a testimonial, whether it's a live, there's so many different when it comes to content, but repurpose it. So you can take those testimonials and put them on your website, right? Sprinkle them in different places. Put them up in your newsletter. Shout out, right? I mean, right now it's February, it's the month of love, right? So, like, share the love that they're sharing with you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So glad that you're here. So we're just jotting through real quick. So, okay, now, y'all, I know that you're thinking, Erin, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I want to know how many of you have asked for reviews and then it feels like crickets. Let me know. Because I want you to think about this. It's so busy. It's life, right? I took a moment actually the other day to send a little voice message in Facebook Messenger to another friend of mine that I have here in the industry. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to get to that. But here's the thing. So we're going to talk about how we get them to follow through. Okay, but I want to tell you, I went ahead and I was like, oh, the other day was on top of my mind. I have been thinking about letting this person know about what value they were bringing because was having a private one-on-one call with one of my clients, and she said, Erin, remember da 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 da, and when you had this speaker on and da da da, and they said this, and like it was so valuable for me, and it helped me with this situation. And I was like, that's so amazing. That's what it's all about, right? And then I went on with my day. I had 5 other clients that I was having calls with that day. And like the day went on and it was crazy. And I had been meaning to reach out to that person and just like say, thank you so much for what you do. Right. But life was busy. I got through bam, 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 all my calls. And then I went to go pick up my kids from school. And then my daughter had dance. And right, like life is just busy. And it wasn't personal, right? It wasn't personal that I didn't reach out right away. It took me a couple days, honestly, before I said something. But it's not because it was personal. It was because life gets busy, right? Life gets busy. And so when you have parents that don't follow through, I want to talk a little bit about strategy. Oh my goodness, I want to share this real quick. Okay, So our friend here, she gives a $15 credit when they do. Now, totally great to have different incentives. Here's some of the things that I suggest for getting families to follow through. Number one, I should have written these out. This is why, if you want a copy of this and of my super tricks, then drop a reviews in the comments below. So then that way you get a copy of this, because I actually didn't even put these in those little, the little text bars. So that's fine, but I'm going to share them with you. So here's a super trick. Sometimes you have parents who would love, 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 love to give you a review, but they feel like they don't know what to say, or they don't know how to, they don't want to say the wrong thing, right? Okay, so if you want a copy, drop the word review in the comments, and my team will come back and we will make sure that we will send them to you in Messenger, and we will get you guys some all of the updates for everything coming up. So make sure that y'all do that. Okay, so you might have families who feel that way, that they want to share, but they don't know how to share properly. And I say that in quotation marks because we know that whatever they say is going to come from the heart, and that it is genuine, right? But they might not know or feel like they know what to say or to do. So I'm going to give you a couple different tips, and then if you want a copy, like I said, drop a review. I'm going to give you some actual wording that that you can try out and use inside your studio to get some little prompts for them to have them follow through. Because you want to make it as easy as possible, y'all. We're all busy. If your families have to think too much about it, they're not going to follow through. So, strategy or tip number one: when you start building these reviews, I want you to think of your intention and your objective always in everything you do inside your business. Okay, so if you are like, right now, I want to focus a little bit on my Google reviews. Let's just use that as an option, right? I want you to think about, even if you start with just 5, if you did this every month, oh my gosh, amazing things would happen. Pick 5 parents that are your ideal parents, that you're like, I want more people just like you, right? Please. And this is where you take a moment and you breathe and you ask. But you have to make it easy, personal. And this is where you guys know how I feel about how we grow our studios organically, is through connections, right? So you want to pick 5 people who, from now, you guys, this is the kicker. So think about the different categories of parents, right? You have like tiny tot parents. You've got families who have been with you a couple years. You have maybe company or competition families, right? So you want to pick a couple from each category for the ask. So you have different types of people that are your ideal people, but through different stages. You want people who have been with you for 5 years, and you want people who have been with you for a year but absolutely adore you. So even if 5, y'all, 5 isn't too hard to ask for, right? Who can commit to 5? Let me know in the comments. If you commit to 5 asks, but you have to make it personal and you have to make it easy. So you might say, hey, Erin, I appreciate you so much. I think you're absolutely amazing. I love having Peyton in class, right? She is so sassy, full of love, full of joy. Kindness is her motto in life, right? And I want to find more families who are just like you. And would you be willing to help me with a Google review? Right? So there's step 1. They're like, oh my gosh, yes, right? Okay, let me go ahead and share the Google review link. Y'all, share the link. Make it easy for them. Because they have their own, there's a separate URL you can send them, right? So send them that. It makes it super easy. It pops up a little window. It's like, there's the stars, the 5 stars, right? And then the prompt for the box. Now, you do that. And then you're like, it's crickets. I've asked 5 people and nobody's done a review. People get busy, y'all. This is where you follow up. And you're like, oh my gosh, Erin, like, I'm so glad that you're here again. Hey, did you need a prompt for the Google review? Because I know sometimes, like for me, you have to make it relatable. For me, like when I want to do a review, but then I feel like I don't know what to say, sometimes it helps me to have like a prompt, like just what sort of things I'm looking for. And a lot of times they're going to be like, oh my gosh, yes, because I don't want to say the wrong thing and I want to make sure that it's good and exactly what you're looking for. Sometimes people feel like they just need help writing out how they feel. And so would it be helpful for you if I shared with you some of those prompts that you can use? If so, drop your review below and we will get those to you. I will share with you a few different prompts that you can use inside your studio when you're asking for reviews, if you want those. Okay, so that's number 1, is it needs to be personal. It needs to make them feel special. Now, yes, could you send out a mass email to all your families asking for reviews? You could. But that takes away that moment of you really getting personal and asking for the reviews that you truly want, right? And so it's easy when you have families that you are connected with, that you know really well. Start with those, make your list and work your way down. And like I said, it doesn't have to be super hard, y'all. It could be 5 a month, right? Maybe this month you focus on Google reviews for the first 5. And then next month, you focus on the Facebook business page reviews, if that's where your people are hanging out. Maybe then the 3rd month, right? You go back to Google, but you layer in, ooh, I'm going to take a testimonial from a Google review, and I'm going to take a testimonial from a Facebook review, and I'm going to turn those into testimonial cards in Canva, and I'm going to put them on Instagram. And I'm going to put them on my website, right? It's about layering and adding and showing social proof in what you do. But the first thing is you have to ask, because most of the time, now there's a few little, beautiful souls out there who will go ahead and do it on their own, right? There's a few of them, but a lot of them, they don't know unless you ask. And they want to be a help. They want to be a help, right? But we have to get over these stories that we tell ourselves that we don't want to be a bother. We don't want to seem like we're all about money and we want reviews so we look good, or whatever the story is that we're telling. They want to help you because they love you. And so this goes back to that human connection piece of listing out and really being objective and going, people talk about your client avatar and stuff like that. I'm thinking about humans here. When you look inside your studio, think about the first top 5 moms, dads, parents, students that come to your mind that you're like, I would love to have 10 more of these in my studio. And that's who you start with. It's and it could be so easy. You just have to lean into the idea that it is so easy and that people do want to help. And it's not personal if they don't do it right away because life is busy. Life is busy. And so part of this is being consistent in the ask, right? So if you ask 5 and 2 do it, celebrate, yeah, right? Celebrate that 2 did it. And then the next month you ask 5 and maybe 2 more do it. And as you continue, consistency is key. And I think sometimes we forget, sometimes we'll send out that mass and like you might get 5 at once, right? Which is great. But I want you to also think about when you go to Google or when you go to a Facebook page or if you see that there's 10 reviews all in the same week, I don't know about you. I might be a little bit skeptical, say, that's odd that the reviews all came at the same time, right? Is it just me? Let me know in the comments. Am I the only one who gets skeptical about that sort of thing? Because it doesn't feel like it was natural and organic that somebody just loved you so much to do a review. If you're like, all of their reviews came February of 2022. And then they haven't had a review in, since 4 years ago, right? Or whatever. I'm a little bit skeptical. So this is why one of the reasons why I love breaking it down into bite-sized actions and bite-sized bits of asks, because it's organic. It feels organic in the feed. It keeps you relevant. It's not like a big influx and then nothing. What it tells the algorithms and what it tells Facebook and what it, the AI and all of that is that you are consistently having people who are excited or who want to engage with your business. And that bumps up your rankings, guys. And we want to do that organically, right? All right. So let's go back and do a totally quick, speedy recap for how to get awesome reviews for your studio, right? That's what it's all about today. And it breaks down into a few little things. Number one, we need to know where our audience hangs out. Don't focus on YouTube if your family is not, or not your family, if your audience is not hanging out on YouTube, right? If your audience is hanging out on Facebook and Instagram and Google, focus there. That's what makes sense, right? And then we have to start looking at those social media reviews. We need to have them on Facebook. And I gave you a little quick workaround for Instagram. And how do we utilize that since there's not a review section for Instagram, right? But social media reviews, and when I say reviews, yes, we want to have reviews on our business page. But reviews from people inside Facebook groups, like a mommy group, those are golden, y'all. You want social proof and you want people who are loving sharing what you do inside your studio, right? So social media reviews can come in lots of different forms. And then obviously we need the Google reviews. Everyone goes to the Google, right? Everyone does. And so we want to focus on that because that does help us organically, build things up and get your rankings up higher. And then we want to use repurposing magic. And we want to repurpose these and we want to take and highlight these testimonials and sprinkle them everywhere, right? Because we could put them on our website. We could put them in our newsletter. We can send them out in an email blast to our families and be like, oh my gosh, we got so much love. Thank you so much. It makes my heart so happy, right? And it encourages other people to do so, right? We could sprinkle the love and these testimonials all around. And so if you want to get a copy of my templates that we use to help prompt families, drop a review below and we will absolutely get those for you guys. So you all, if you're just coming in, I want to thank you. You can come back in on the replay. You can grab all of the goodness of today's broadcast. I'm Erin Bird, and I am your dance studio strategist that stands for joy, wants you to shine brightly and see the magic inside yourself. And I come here every single Wednesday, and we talk business strategies, we talk mindset, we talk about all things that matter to you. And so I hope that you found value in today. And if you want to share and sprinkle the love with other educators, other studio owners who need to hear this message as well, that would bring my heart so much happiness. I'm going to leave you there. I hope that you have a fantastic day. Keep an eye out in your messenger for those of you who dropped a review for our secret little templates that we use. Those will be coming to you shortly. And I hope that until I see you next week, you commit to going out and asking for 5 reviews. Just ask. Just ask. The magic will start to happen when we get consistent in asking. So I'm going to leave you all there. Have a fantastic day, friends. And I will see y'all next Wednesday for more awesome sauce. Bye, friends.